What's up, everyone? Kenton Meyer here. I'm going to be doing the self-help guru tier list today. I got a good number of people. I'm not even going to give you an intro here. We're going to jump right into it. I'm just going to go over my criteria in 10 seconds. Most importantly, does their advice work? And then second, how comprehensive and nuanced is their advice? That's it. Let's start off with a controversial one, bro. Andrew Tate is C. Let me explain myself, all right? A lot of people want to put Tate in either two categories. You know, you got to cut these feminist types, maybe these more left-leaning people who are like, Tate is the worst thing to happen since Adolf Hitler himself. And then you have the other people who literally worship this guy, bro. I think he's funny as shit, but I honestly just don't care about the guy. Like, I don't know why we got to be in one of these two categories where Tate is either a god or he's the devil himself. His shit, like, yeah, does it work? I mean, yeah, it works, but it's not, it's not the most deep advice ever, and it's not always the most nuanced. And I think there's just a lot of other guys above him. I feel like that's not a hot take. If you think it's a hot take, let me know. Who else here? Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is A tier. He's literally the godfather of self-help, okay? Tony Robbins pioneered this entire genre. None of these guys pretty much would exist without Tony Robbins, okay? The space wouldn't even exist as we know it without Tony Robbins. I understand Tony Robbins is a little bit, he's maybe a bit generic, maybe a bit unoriginal, and maybe, his stuff is kind of just repackaged. It's not really original. Maybe it oversimplifies some things, but I think Tony Robbins, if you're just looking at his career and you're looking at the impact he's had, it's undeniable. He's A tier. He doesn't have the most nuanced philosophical ideas, but Tony Robbins is A tier. David Goggins. This is a hot take. I think people are going to be more pissed off about this one. This one is he's B. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. David Goggins is a legend, okay? No one's questioning David Goggins as a legend, but David Goggins is one-dimensional, bro. David Goggins is the most one-dimensional football player ever. He's like 42-year-old Tom Brady. All he can do is throw the football. In the same way, David Goggins, David Goggins, all he talks about is discipline, callous your mind, and embrace the suffering. That's it. It's his whole thing. He doesn't have business advice. He doesn't have some deep philosophical wisdom. It's just practical shit that people need to hear. A lot of people need to hear. But when you're looking at other people on this list, like a Ryan Holiday kind of guy, he doesn't have that philosophical depth. He doesn't have the deep why behind everything. Yeah, his shit works, but come on. Like, he's one-dimensional. He doesn't have business, dating. He's not talking about, epistemology. He's not talking about relationship, or I said that, but you get my point. I think he's better than Tate, obviously. I mean, if I had to tell someone, who do you want to listen to, it's going to be Goggins over Tate. Like, if I had to give someone a guru, but it's just not. He's one-dimensional. I love the guy. Great guy. Very motivational. But he's just not that elite category. Gary V. Gary V's B tier. Gary V. I get it. Look, I get it. I know Gary V's a meme. I get it. I know he's this big NFT guy and all this shit. The guy is kind of a visionary, okay? All I'm saying is he's been right year after year. When he predicts something's going to blow up, it does. He predicted NFTs when they were early. NFTs blew up. Yeah, they died. Yeah, they died off. But if you got in early, you made a lot. He's been right about since the early 2000s, since YouTube launched, bro. He was right about personal branding. So he's kind of a visionary. And then from what I've heard, now I haven't really looked at like any of his deep business stuff. I'm not a big business guy, but if you look at his business advice and at least the testimonials, it seems like it works for a lot of people. And most importantly here, in my opinion, I like the guy. There's just something about Gary Vee I like. He's so positive. when he pops up on my For You page, I don't get depressed. You know, I don't get depressed watching like a Sneeko or a Hamza or even a Jordan Peterson. I get motivated when I see this guy. He makes me feel good about myself. Definitely better than Tate. Goggins, I mean, Gary V or Goggins, yeah, I can't put him above Goggins. I just can't. Let's move on here. Dr. K, I think that's his name, the healthy gamer guy. F tier? No. A tier. I just, it's funny. I don't even like the guy. I watch his videos and he just grosses me. Like, there's something about this guy, okay? Let me start off by saying, there's something about this guy I just don't like. I don't like his videos. I don't like his style. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he analyzes people. And he feels like very arrogant. And I also don't like his face. But, he's a smart guy. I mean, he's kind of fucking smart, and his shit's kind of, it works, and it's deep, and he talks about a lot of different things from spirituality to, like, Buddhism to modern neuroscience. The guy is well read up. He's way more read up than a Sneeko, so I gotta give him props, but, like, I would rather watch Sneeko than this guy. This guy, is something about him I just don't like. But I'm gonna try and put that aside. I'm gonna try and put him up at the A tier. Yes, above David Goggins. I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care what anyone says. David Goggins is one-dimensional. This guy is not. Okay, he's literally a doctor. I think he's a doctor. At least a therapist. So he understands the psychological side of things. I just don't like the guy, but I gotta put him in A. Luke Belmar. Bro, Luke Belmar. Oh, I gotta put Belmar at D, bro. I mean, what is this guy? Like, bro, who even is this guy? It's funny, I actually knew about this guy, heard about him, watched some of his podcasts before the whole meme of him blew up. And he's a smart guy. He says a lot of smart things, but, like, what is this guy's even deal? I mean, if I asked you, what is Luke Belmar's philosophy on life? What is his worldview? I don't even know if you could tell me. I couldn't even tell you. And I've watched more of this guy's shit than some of these other people on here. And I don't even, like, he doesn't stand out. He's a guru. He's a business guru. Does his shit work? Maybe. But it's all business. It's like, it's just shallow. And I don't know. This guy's not even, no. He's D. If Tate is C, this guy's D. This guy's younger than Tate, less experience, less money. And when you hear him, D. Robert Greene. Whoo! I'm about to drop a hot fucking take. Robert Greene is F tier. I know what everyone's saying. The 48 Laws of Power guy, this supposed genius, this Machiavellian genius, is going in F tier. What the hell is wrong with you, Kenton? No, there's nothing wrong with me. Let me explain to you what this guy, his entire grift is, entire career is about. This guy writes books with what's called post hoc rationalization. Let me explain what that is. He takes data, all right? He'll look at history, and he'll extrapolate patterns from it that retroactively tells a story. It actually has no predictive power for the future. It doesn't actually tell you anything about the future. It just sounds like a nice little story. His 48 Laws of Power don't tell you anything. It's a retroactive storytelling. It's his ideas about the world. It's basically some guy's opinion, and he's a good writer. That's what he is. His shit doesn't work. He doesn't give lasting transformation. He doesn't give decent business advice. At least some of these guys up here actually have decent business advice. Goggins is actually someone like who's jacked, who's ripped, who's mentally tough, who's inspired people. What has this guy done? And also, he's ugly. I don't want to look at this guy. I'm sorry, but like, I'm not going to take advice from someone who looks like that. Like, this guy writes a book on the art of seduction. Bro looks like he's never got any poon in his entire life. He literally looks like a predator. If this guy came up to me and told me how to get pussy, I would be like, bro, get the fuck away from me. You're probably on Megan's Law. F tier. Andrew Huberman. D tier. Above Belmar, obviously. This guy's at least a scientist. He's at least got some education. I'd say decent health advice. He's a little extreme, but it's shallow. This guy's, he's a health guy. He's not talking about identity, purpose, philosophy, business, relationship. He's talking about health, bro. He's one-dimensional. He's more one-dimensional than Goggins. And, yeah. Alex Hormozy, B tier. I know it's probably some sin to 12-year-old guys, 15-year-old guys who think that David Goggins is just the GOAT. Alex Hormozy is a better self-help guru than David Goggins. He has better business advice. He has better motivational and mentality advice. He's much more comprehensive than David Goggins. And I'm not super familiar with Hormozy, but from what I've seen, the podcast, videos I've watched, this guy gives like the no BS approach to life. And he's actually criticized the whole personal branding behind a lot of these gurus. So he would criticize probably someone like Tate, for this whole personal branding, this whole like BS approach. He's kind of a no BS guy. He just gets the results, but he lacks the depth. He lacks the philosophical rigor. Let me talk about someone who has philosophical rigor. Jordan Peterson's A tier. Jordan Peterson is A tier. It's funny because, over the last couple years, we've seen like this roller coaster over what Jordan Peterson is. Is he a genius? Is he a fraud? Is he like some person who's lost his mind from benzodiazepines? Who is he? He is a very intelligent person who has a lot of wisdom. He doesn't have everything solved, but come on, guys. He's transformed so many fucking lives. This guy he's just one of the GOATs. I'm sorry. He's one of the GOATs in the space. When you think about who is a GOAT in the self-help genre, it's Jordan Peterson. He's up there, man. Most people have heard of this guy by now. His work can pretty much be, I think, summarized down to take responsibility for your life and then find meaning in that responsibility, which may be a little bit shallow, but like when you actually listen to him, he's not shallow. So I don't, he's not shallow. He's very well read. He's this academic type, but he makes things, tries to make them accessible and practical, even though his speaking style isn't accessible. He tries to make things practical. Jordan Peterson has transformed more lives than half of these other people on here combined. He is effective. He's good. He's surgical. He's A tier. Who else? Who do we want to do else here? Who's some like D tier? Jocko Willink is D tier, bro. Jocko Willink's D tier. Shallow. It's just repackaged motivational advice. He's like some military guy. I don't know a ton about him, but he's like some military guy about discipline and shit. Okay, bro. You learned that when you're like 20 years old. Don't need to make that your whole goddamn life. Wake up in the morning early and go work out early. Bro, what the okay? And Buddy learns about the gym and an alarm and thinks he's like discovered the wheel. He's not anyone special. Okay? His shit is good. But it's not, it's like repackaging the wheel here, bro. Mel Robbins is F tier. Fuck you, Mel Robbins. You're dog shit. Literally the most BS author ever. Don't even look this person up. Dog shit. Ryan Holiday. Can we get a fucking thing here? Ryan Holiday is a high A tier. This is going to come to a shock for a lot of people. If anyone is familiar with Ryan Holiday, he is the host of the Daily Stoic podcast. He's a author. He is a smart, intelligent person who is making ancient wisdom accessible for the modern person. I like him. I like him as a person. He's down to earth. He's humble. Most importantly, his shit works. Stoicism, I think is a decent, effective philosophy. I don't think it's perfect, but his ideas about seeing obstacles as actually gifts, as seeing them as opportunities. His talking about the ego is the enemy. Talking about like spiritual topics, but making them practical. He's just a great guy. He's a smart, intelligent guy, and I feel like when I look at the guy and I watch him, he's authentic, and his shit actually works. It's grounded in ancient wisdom, made accessible for the modern audience. Sneako. Dude, where do I put Sneako, bro? Oh my gosh. Sneako's so weird, dude. Because it's like, what is Sneako? Sneako's a smart guy. Okay, hold on. I know, shut the fuck up. I know everyone who's anti-Sneako just said, you just called Sneako intelligent. Yes, I did. And let me explain why. The average person cannot think at the level that Sneako does. I don't give a fuck what you say, bro. I never said Sneako was right. I just said he's a thinker. And you gotta respect the thinkers. Sneako has more depth than Jocko Willink and Andrew Huberman and Luke Belmar. That is a fact. Fact number 2. Sneako is very authentic, which I value. And Sneako shit, does it work? I guess. I guess it works. I guess. Is he original? Very original. Is he comprehensive? Yes. Sneako, maybe not is as effective as Andrew Huberman or Willink, but guess what he is? He's more original, he's more authentic, he's more comprehensive, and he's a smart fucking guy. He's only in his 20s. Excuse me. If this guy stays open-minded and he really takes this to the next level and, really, like, academically becomes more rigorous with his thinking, becomes more open-minded, if he becomes less of this binary thinker, he actually could be an intelligent person. But right now, I think Sneako is, dude, this is just hard because I know I'm going to piss someone off. I got to put Sneako. I got to put him here, bro. I got to put him there. He's better than Huberman, bro. He is. I don't like Huberman. You can find health advice anywhere. Luke Belmar sucks. Robert Greene sucks. Fuck you. He's here. D tier's still pretty bad, but he's not as bad as people say. Jay Waller. Jay Waller's a high D. Not a lot to say about this guy. He's just kind of like this macho, masculine guy. He's on the podcast with PBD. I forgot to put PBD on here. Who gives a shit? He's better than these guys. Maybe not as good as that guy, but he's just, I don't know. You know what? It's just like, he's not really a guru. He's like an influencer. So I don't, it's hard to even say what his philosophy is. He's there. Naval, bro. Or Naval. I forget how you even pronounce this guy's name. From what I've seen, I don't know a whole ton about this guy, but he seems to be pretty popular. I did some research. I've watched some of his stuff. Naval Javikant, I think his name is. He's a smart guy. He's one of the early investors, and I think in Twitter and some of the other big companies, Fortune 500 companies. He's a smart guy. He blends a lot of ideas about Buddhism and maybe Eastern spirituality, make it accessible for people. But he's also has really good business advice. Obviously, he's a billionaire. I think he's a billionaire. Pretty sure he's a billionaire. Got to be a billionaire. At least he's really rich. But yeah, the guy's a very intelligent person. So I don't know a lot about him, but from what I've seen, he seems like an A-tier kind of influencer. Brez Scales. Brez Scales is F. Okay. He's a new influencer, very fresh on the market, but I wanted to talk about him. Brez Scales is a 20-something-year-old guru who thinks he's cracked the secret to life. He has no life experience. He has no philosophical depth. He's not comprehensive. He's one-dimensional, and he's 20 years old. Do not ever fucking watch this guy's videos about anything other than entertainment. Don't even take his business advice. Please. He's fucking 20 years old. This is the whole argument with these 20-year-olds. People say is, well, he's more successful than you. Okay, yeah. I'm sure he knows more about business than me. Absolutely. But guess what? That still doesn't mean anything. I know zero. This guy probably knows 1%. I want to go to the guys like a Gary Vee, like an Alex Hormozy, who actually have 10 to 20 years, 30 years of business experience who have fucking failed. This guy probably got it right the first fucking time and just got lucky. I don't want to listen to that guy. I don't want to spend any more time. Leo Gura. Can we... Thank you. My computer is dying. Hard drive is dying on my PC. Guys, Leo Gura is S tier. He's in a category of his own. And let me explain something. This guy is the best self-help guru, philosopher of the 21st century. And it's not even close. His level of depth, precision, and clarity, and practical results is on a completely different level. This guy is so intelligent. Yes, I am glazing him. He produces consistent videos every couple months, a couple hour-long videos talking about different topics. And now let me be careful here. Leo Gura has some extreme takes, okay? And he has a lot of things most people aren't ready to hear. But if you have an open mind and if you stick to more of his practical stuff, less of the spirituality, less of the enlightenment shit, you will get massive results in your life, I believe, better than most any of these other people. He's that good. And the level of research, rigor, he's such an intelligent person. He's so well articulated. He has some extreme ideas. I would say stay away from them. Most people aren't ready for them. But for the most majority of people, if I could recommend anyone, I would say this guy, 100%. Just stick to his more practical shit. If you've never heard of him, go watch some of his videos. Stay away from the extreme ones or the ones that have titles that make you go, what the fuck? This guy is the GOAT. He is. He's just, there's a gap here. Like, the gap between the A and the B is decent. The gap between the B and the C is decent. This gap right here is massive. It's just massive. Better ideas. He's a C tier. Not a lot to say about this guy. Been in the YouTube space a while now. I watched a good bit of his videos. It's kind of just a guy talking about life, giving his ideas. He's not some, like, philosopher. He's not really some academic. He's not really some grifter. He's just an honest guy, and I like him. I respect him. Pretty mid-tier. I think people could find value, but it's not the most deep. It's pretty shallow. Well, no, I don't say pretty. Some of it's shallow. Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss is a mid-A. Tim Ferriss is been around the space a while. He's just effective. His stuff's effective. I haven't read a ton about him. But from what I've researched, the stuff I have watched, Tim Ferriss is a solid A, and he's changed the space a lot. If it wasn't for him, I mean, he was one of the early pioneers of the self-help, in my opinion. The 5-hour, I think it's called the 5-hour work week. Or the 4-hour, I don't remember what it was. But the book, he's an interesting guy. Hamza Ahmed, C tier. C tier. Yes. Is that good? My computer's breaking. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? Thank you. Hamza's a C, bro. The problem I have with Hamza is he's, again, the problem with Sneeko. He's a very binary thinker, and he's very young. He's immature. I don't actually, and also his stuff, this feels like a disservice. This feels like a fucking disservice. Hamza is just not, he's like fucking, he's not shallow, he's comprehensive, but the problem is his stuff doesn't really work. It's short-term, hype, motivational thinking. And he's becoming this content farm. Like, he doesn't focus on depth and quality anymore. He focuses on pumping out content and making money. And he's immature, bro. He's like in his 20s. And he can't take any criticism. It's just a shame. Could have been a great guy, but going down this ideological path that no one likes Grant Cardone. Fuck you, Grant Cardone. Fuck you, Grant Cardone. I gotta put Grant Cardone at the high F. Grant Cardone's a fucking idiot. Fuck you, Grant Cardone. But, you know, he's not as bad as some of these other ones. The guy's a billionaire, okay? I can't, you know, if we want to debate theory all day, you know, we can debate theory. We can't debate results, and the guy, he's a fucking rich fuck, dude. I mean, he makes so much money. I have no idea, you know, I've never really read any of his business stuff because I'm not a business guy, but from what I've researched, the guy is just kind of this grifter. Like, his whole 10x mantra is just bullshit. He's like a big course seller and real estate guy, but it's like high pressure, aggressive sales tactics, which, you know, can't really scale. Not everyone can do that. So that's the list, guys. That's the list. What do you think is the most bullshit take I have? David Goggins at B is definitely an interesting one. Gary V at B. I don't know. What do you guys think is the most bullshit take I have? Maybe Robert Greene at F. I don't give a shit. I think it's like, okay, so Sneeko or Robert Greene, you know? Hey, let me defend myself. Sneeko actually has real world shit. This has no real world implications. He's a storyteller. Anyway, guys, let me know what the most bullshit take is in the comment.